Michigan State's in a group of teams with Auburn and Miami and Texas. Auburn, Miami, Texas, Wisconsin, all 25-1 along with the Spartans. Oklahoma 18-1, Penn State 12-1, Michigan 10-1, Georgia and Ohio State 8-1, Clemson 6-1, Bama 5-2. That is for the 2019 or 2018 season, 2019 college championship. Bama's also been installed as a 3-1 favorite for 2020, a 4-1 favorite for 2021, 3-1 favorite for 2022. Just so people know.
I just saw Sports Illustrated tweeted out their way too early top 25.
Yep.
And maybe this will surprise you. Georgia number 1.
Oh.
Alabama 2. Ohio State was 4. Clemson was 3. Auburn 5. Wisconsin, Penn State, Oklahoma, Miami, and Virginia Tech round out the top 10. As it goes on, USC, Notre Dame, LSU, Central Florida at 14, which surprises me given that the head coach is gone. I can't imagine that you expect them to be as good as they were. Washington, Stanford, TCU at 17, Florida State at 18, Memphis at 19, South Carolina at 20, followed by Texas, Michigan at 22, Boise State, Texas A&M, and Northwestern at 25. No Michigan State, who finished 10-3 and brings back 21 out of 22 starters. But that's okay, because that's just more fuel to that giant chip that resides on the shoulder of every Spartan and Mark D'Antonio to go ahead and keep fighting for that respect.
I'll tell you what. First of all, I don't know what to think about Michigan next year because I didn't see enough improvement as the season went on that I expected to see, and that was a disappointment. But I also don't know what to think about their quarterback situation because we don't know if Shea Patterson is going to be eligible or not. The transfer from Mississippi, the former 5-star quarterback. And it's a man's schedule, and unless you're ready for it, it could get ugly because it's really, really tough. We were talking about, before the break there, what could take Michigan and Michigan State to the level of Alabama or Georgia? Watching that game last night, if you're a Wolverine fan, is it a philosophy? Is it recruiting? Michigan State, same thing. Philosophically, recruiting. What are you most jealous of that you'd like to see or you think your program needs to get to that level? 248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136. We'll continue taking your phone calls, texts, and tweets on that. As far as what happened on the field, let's start at the end. Georgia kicks a field goal in overtime to go up 23-20. Tua Tagovailoa gets sacked, setting up a 2nd and 27 for Alabama. And they're out of field goal range. It's 2nd and long. And I think Georgia, I can't believe they were in a coverage. Well, I shouldn't say that because I see the philosophies both ways. People say the only thing the prevent defense does is prevent you from winning. That's an old cliche that we've taken calls on that forever. And yet, if they're in a more prevent style, either 3 deep instead of 2 deep, or keep everything inside and in front, then that corner who really struggled last night, Malcolm Parrish, number 14 for Georgia, that corner probably doesn't hand off Devonta Smith to a safety. I don't know. I just wonder if they philosophically blew it there. Did the kids not execute? I mean, if I'm a Georgia fan today, I'm just had that blood rushing out of my head feeling of how did we let a guy get deep on us on 2nd and 27 when if we play the sticks a little bit here, we're at the very least allowing a very long field goal.
Yeah, there's probably a combination of things as normally what the case is, but I would lean more towards its execution. You've got a safety there who is there for a reason. You go over and help out on that right side and where you have the one-on-one matchup. You had 3 receivers on the other side, on the right side, and unfortunately for Georgia, that safety got caught cheating. He looked over, saw there were 3 guys on that side, and he was going to pay more attention to that because he didn't want anybody to come over and get burned there, and maybe thought too much that his guy was going to take care of the one-on-one matchup. And when the quarterback is staring in that right side direction and draws the safety over there, as soon as he comes creeping across the hash, boom, look to the left, throw it, touchdown. and it's an execution thing to me. But I think it also is probably a combination. Maybe if they had to do it over again, would they have different coverage? I'm sure they would. I don't know if necessarily it was
flawed from the beginning. I don't know either. I find that the prevent defense plays a very valuable role in the game of football, and that if they are a little bit more conservative defensively, a little bit more cautious about letting the ball get over the top, but when you're saying yourself susceptible to one play. Well, I'm not talking clock doesn't matter, so you're not worried about defending the sidelines or anything like that.
But I'm saying when you say prevent defense, and I know that you've changed it up to make it more of a prevent style, that makes more sense. If you're going prevent defense, like you see teams do when they're
umbrella coverage. Like I've talked to coaches forever who've talked about there are certain points in a game where everything's inside and in front. That was not the case with Georgia last night.
No, but the other difference is that it is overtime. You have plays you've got to get downfield, obviously, and even if it's just getting a field goal would tie it. So it's not like desperation prevent. You know what I mean? Where you're looking at, I've got to convert this 4th and 17 because I don't have to. We can kick a field goal as well.
They are probably 15 yards away from getting their kicker into field goal attempt range. I would have taken my chances 2 downs to get those 15 yards. But, hey, man, Tagovailoa made a great play as a quarterback. That'd be cited for years as, well, maybe not for years, but that's great eye manipulation, as Trent Dilfer would say. And then the load to arrival was pretty good there. He moved the safety with his eyes and then threw the ball down a seam on the left sideline and allowed Smith to run under it for his first catch of the game.
Well, here's the other thing. Kirby Smart, the head coach of Georgia, was a defensive coordinator for Alabama.
Yep.
So ultimately it comes down to him. He's the one who makes who approves the decisions. If he didn't like the call on defense, then he could call timeout and change things
Melvin Tucker's a defensive coordinator there.
So, I mean, their defensive minds, I think they were very comfortable with what they were going with.
It was definitely more aggressive than it perhaps could have been, but hey, man, people like to go down. What was the text we got yesterday? You could never go wrong in football with aggression, which of course isn't true.
Right.
All right, a lot of people were talking about the behavior of Jalen Hurts during the game, but it was met with some criticism, which surprised me. One from a reporter, and then we got some texts as well.